Well, there is a critical shortage of the most used life-saving drugs in this country. There were hearings held today on Capitol Hill, and that's when lawmakers actually learned, Sean Rabb, what these medical professionals already know. The drug shortage has indeed reached crisis level. Sean Rabb, what is going on? Why the shortage?
Yeah, we are talking about, of course, the best and most used generic drugs, and there are multiple reasons for the shortage. Drug companies either not producing enough, production problems that's caused some recalls, and in some cases, stopping the manufacture of some of the most popular generic drugs.
Probably every hospital in the country's dealt with drug shortages.
A growing shortage the past 18 months. John Albrecht is Director of Pharmacy Services at Methodist Healthcare System.
These are some drugs that we have had, that have been in the news as far as having problems with shortages and even outages.
Life-saving cancer-fighting drugs like paclitaxel.
These have been very difficult to get hold of. Our oncologists say, how are you doing on supply? How are you doing on supply?
To the popular propofol anesthetic.
I know that like some of the smaller surgery centers around the city and things like that were not able to get this, and they either had to use an alternative product or cancel surgical procedures.
Manufacturers falling short or stopping production, and hospitals have had to seek other government-approved suppliers.
When there was the propofol shortage, we were able to bring in drugs manufactured from Canada.
The shortage also bringing out so-called gray market vendors offering expensive and possibly risky drugs.
We got a call from a gray market that wanted to charge us 20 times what we would normally pay for this drug. And this is used to treat blood pressure.
Well, it does impact the health care that they get.
Stephen K. Lau is Doctor of Internal Medicine. The drug shortages mainly involve widely used generic drugs that ordinarily are cheap.
I think the primary driver is the system in which drugs are developed and marketed in the U.S.
Lau says drug companies are paid millions of dollars to develop new innovative drugs.
As a side effect of that, when a drug goes generic, that's where the problem is. So the drug profit margins are decreased, and so drug companies are no longer incentivized to make these drugs.
To make sure they get the right drugs, Methodist, with technicians always checking availability.
It's like being almost on eBay, so to speak, is that they're watching. As soon as a drug becomes available, they're grabbing it, okay, to make sure that we've got what we need.
Now, Methodist Hospital has bought no drugs from any gray market vendors. In a statement, the trade group representing American pharmaceutical companies acknowledged the shortages and says the responsibility is not theirs alone. At today's hearing before a House subcommittee, the Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary on Health testified drug shortages have tripled since 2005. Sean Rabb, Fox 4 News.